which went off last month, a bruising battle. Hope you'll join us 9 o'clock Eastern time for Top Rank Boxing. Al will be off in Barcelona, and Dave Bontempo will join me ringside as Barry Tompkins continues on his Tour de France.
Everybody's somewhere. And that's our next fight. They're here. They're getting ready to kick things off. Yeah.
Whoa. Did he borrow that from Murky Sosa?
Whoa. That is very colorful. We like that.
Nice outfit.
You mentioned I'll be off. I'm coming back in August. And in fact, I'm going to be on August 12th. I'm going to be in West Allis, Wisconsin at the boxing match there in the Wisconsin Fairgrounds. We have a lot of people out there for that. And great boxing, just like this action.
All right, this one is the scheduled 6-rounder. And Otilio Villareal, 20-year-old fighter from Ecuador, is in action unbeaten. We'll have a look at him.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the lightweight division. This bout scheduled for 6 rounds. The referee is Ed Cotton. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the multicolored trunks, weighing in at 133 pounds. He's from Loiza, Puerto Rico, undefeated as a professional with a record of 2-0. Ladies and gentlemen, Isander Lacen. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the blue trunks with white trim, weighing in at 136 pounds. He's originally from Guayaquil, Ecuador, now fighting out of the Big Apple, New York City. He's also undefeated 4-0, 3 KOs. Introducing Otilio Villareal.
20-year-old Otilio Villareal from Ecuador.
All right, boxers,
the U.S. in
you receive your
January.
instructions in the dressing room. Listen to my commands. Protect yourself at all times. Let's touch gloves. Touch gloves.
Eddie Cotton with the final instructions. Villareal, 20 years old, as I mentioned, turned pro in February of this year. 3 of his 4 wins by knockout. 2-0 is the record for Isander Lacen. Seen with the colorful trunks.
Yes.
The taller of the 2 fighters.
It's kind of like Peter Max on acid, huh? Designed that. Where's Peter Max these days? What's he up to?
Know.
Designing anything?
Ties, probably.
Peter, if you're out there and you're a top-ranked boxing fan, call us at ESPN, okay? We want to know what you're up to. See, do you realize the only people watching us tonight are either Republicans or people that are not interested in current affairs?
Actually, I thought Bill Clinton scheduled his acceptance speech so he could watch Top Rank Boxing first.
As soon as the main event is over, he's probably a big Charles Murray and Sammy Fuentes fan.
That is our main event coming up. Seen doing a lot of bouncing and a lot of circling.
And he is trying to move on Villareal and give him lots of lateral movement. That's exactly what he's doing. To some extent, it's working for him until he gets in those corners.
Villareal likes to work inside to the body. His last fight, June 25th, the first round knockout of Kato Ali in Philadelphia. Villareal in the blue, a 2-time South American champion. He's gotten off to a real good start in his pro career. And stayed very busy.
Yeah, he's a very good body puncher and an aggressive guy, and I think that's something that will stand him in good stead. There's the hook by Villareal. He's got a good one.
And down goes Lacen. Gets up quickly. Looks like he's okay. He'll take the mandatory 8. Trying to collect himself, but he allowed Villareal to get inside, and Villareal did some damage.
Villareal puts a lot of pressure on you, and it's hard to sustain against that pressure. You're going to get nailed eventually.
Throwing a lot of punches. He's got fast hands. Does the man in the blue trunks, Otilio Villareal. Throws the body shots real well.
Yeah, he is a superb body puncher. There's that hook I talked about. Even though it was the right to put him down, that hook has a lot of power too.
Lacen has been backing off. Good job by Villareal.
He's cut off the ring pretty well there.
Once again, all over Lacen, who's covering up in the final seconds of this first round. A good start.
Villareal was able to get this overhand right in and send Lacen down to the mat. Excellent right hand over the left of Villareal, or of Lacen. And from another angle, you see how that was the perfect right hand landing right on the chin. And he, this man, Villareal, was able to continue the assault in the last round.
Isander Lacen out for round 2. Villareal in his second pro fight, March 29th in McAfee, New Jersey, against Derek Fornado, went the distance. He was cut in that fight early, and then just rather than go for the knockout, protected himself and outboxed Fornado in that one.
Well, that's the other way to do it, right? You can either go for the knockout and hope you get it, or if you're capable of doing that, there's the punch profile numbers from the last round. And Villareal dominating, and also, of course, with the power and knocking Lacen down. I mentioned in the last round that Villareal was cutting the ring off. By and large, he's done that well, but not completely. That's probably one thing he needs still to work on a little bit. Lacen giving him a lot of lateral movement, and sometimes he cuts the ring off well, and sometimes he doesn't.
Lacen's a little wild with his punches, and he leaves himself wide open.
And there's no question that at this point Lacen does not want any part of Villareal's power. He knows, he's felt it. So this could turn into the Lacen track meet pretty soon.
A lot of bouncing, a lot of feinting, and not much throwing. Good straight right hand by Villareal.
When he corners Lacen on the ropes, so he can throw some combinations. But Villareal needs to take a step to his right and push Lacen back to the left once in a while. He's letting Lacen constantly go to his right, away from his left hook. Granted, he knocked him down with the right hand, but the left hook is what he wants to land more.
I think the fact that the left hook landed so effectively was one of the reasons the right hand was open now.
Absolutely, and that's probably why Lacen is still moving to his right rather than his left. And I think Villareal's going to have to cut him off a little better here.
That's our main event. Charles the Natural Murray, ranked number 3 in the world by the IBF in the junior welterweight division. Sammy Fuentes, who's been in with the top fighters around and still can throw those big bombs. Should be a good one.
That's the keynote address. Consider this like a nominating speech.
Who gives the acceptance?
well, we'll know after we see who wins, huh?
Lacen missing a lot.
Yeah, he's just having a real tough time landing counter punches against Villareal, and as a result of that, not getting much done because he's not initiating action.
And Villareal really almost taking a round off here, kind of pacing himself through this second round. He was down in the first round, and he takes a sharp left hook to the jaw by Otilio Villareal. Second round numbers look like this, a lot closer, and neither man landing. Not much action in that second round.
Boy, that's a bad percentage. Wow. I mean, Lacen, his percentage is bad because he's running most of the time, and actually it's the same reason Villareal's percentage is bad. Villareal is going to have to really do a better job of cutting the ring off. And he's going to have to throw, he's not throwing the right at all to push Lacen back to his left. He's getting really left hook happening.
Villareal's people say does not have a real good jab, has a fair jab, but when he gets inside, he hits hard and bangs well to the body. Second round, he didn't do much of anything.
He didn't have a chance to work the body because Lacen was moving so much. So, although Lacen is going to have a hard time winning this match doing that.
Lacen really throws his right hand awkwardly. Drops it down and almost throws like a sidearm right hand. Right hand by Villareal scored.
Villareal is following him around the ring. I mean, you know, I commended him in the first round for cutting the ring off, but he's not doing it now. He's got to take that step to the right, and he's not going to land that left hook while Lacen is constantly moving away from him. Boy, and isn't it interesting? You said it, the left helped set up that right hand, but he has to throw the right hand.
First round, a lot of action on the inside for Villareal, and here he's not doing it at all, not working his way in. That was a quick left hand that scored for him.
And that's because Lacen opened up and threw his own left hook, which he's hardly thrown in this bout. Lacen actually is not doing that bad a job of boxing. He's landed a few more punches in this round.
A looping slow right hand.
Now there, he had him. See, he should have taken Villareal should have taken a couple steps to his right and pushed him in that corner and gone to work on him. Very bad tactical fight right now for Villareal, even if he may be winning.
Lacen with a lot of movement. Some pretty good moves. He just doesn't throw that many punches either. He's working on his defense.
Right. This is not a preseason game where you can't afford to do that.
Cornered. Villareal trying to make things happen. End of round 3.
Well, in a round in which not too many punches were landed, Oscar Villareal got this right hand, and in keeping with the trend, it wasn't exactly a perfect right hand, but it did land.
You know what? I gave Lacen that last round. What did
I did too. I did too. We're in agreement on that. Even though, you know, Villareal was pushing forward most of the time, Lacen did stop the punch. Now there's a double left hook from Villareal. At least he got the body shot in.
For 3 rounds, pretty close as far as the numbers are concerned.
Isn't that amazing? And that's because Villareal just been chasing and chasing and not been able to really connect solidly.
Now Lacen looks like he's coming forward a little bit.
Well, I think he has the sense that, well, now I got to go do something to make this bout winnable for me. You know, they survived the knockdown, you know, and with those punch numbers, you have to remember that round 1 was probably a 2-point round for Villareal. The knockdown could become significant for him. Villareal using the jab a little bit more, which Lacen should probably be using more also.
Did a good job there. A little shuffle by Villareal. Now he works his way in and bangs to the body. That's really where he did his best work in the first round.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to want to throw that right hand, Villareal.
I wonder if he's thinking about going 6 rounds. He's been 4, he's never been longer than 4, and I wonder if that is weighing on his mind.
That's a very good point. I think it could be. I think it had an impact even on Lindsey Morgan. In our previous fight, he was really worried about his conditioning, and I think that created a certain lethargy in him that allowed him to be knocked out or beaten.
Lacen with some good moves, has slipped a few punches by Villareal, has jabbed pretty well, and once again doing a lot of circling.
Yeah, this round, though, I think Villareal has landed a few more shots than he was landing in the last round.
This is where he needs to be effective.
He needs to, instead of backing off too much, he needs to keep him in there, keep working. That is a very dumb tactical move by Villareal, really. That's where you want him. He wants him here. Throw punches. You're not going to get hurt.
Got the left hand through on an uppercut.
Sam, you really may have hit it on the head. And he's thinking about pacing himself. And you can pace yourself right into a loss if you're not careful.
Both fighters waiting a little bit. Now they try to mix it up. And Lacen has landed a sharp couple of punches in that exchange. Coming to the end of round 4.
Villareal can do some good work when he has him against the ropes. 2 of those 3 landed very well in that flurry.
This is round 5. First time either fighter has been beyond the 4th round. Lacen in his 3rd pro fight, and Villareal in the blue in his 5th pro fight.
And in power punches the last round, non-jabs that is, Villareal outpunched Lacen 13-5, and there are the total punches with Villareal just edging ahead.
Good left hand, a quick one that backed up Lacen. He's shaken on wobbly legs. He's going to get a standing 8 count.
That's a standing 8 count? That was pretty quick.
He was hit with 2 left hands, Al, and he almost went down from the 2nd one. I don't think this is a bad call. I think this is good.
Okay.
He almost went down. The right leg buckled. He stayed up, but he's hurt, and he's in trouble.
There's no question Lacen was stunned, and of course that counts just like a knockdown in effect.
Villareal right after Lacen, who continues to circle. The quick left hand landed. Lacen in trouble. Low punch with the left hand by Villareal.
The power of Villareal, of course, is superior to Lacen. You've seen that. That left
another left.
Yeah, that one stunned him. See, he's letting Lacen get to the right. He literally use his arm and whatever he needs to keep him there.
This could be the beginning of the end right here. Good ball. Lacen got out of there.
See, and that is what Villareal's allowing him to do. Even put your arm out there, just push him back. Even if it's illegal, you get away with it 9 out of 10 times. Take a step to the right now for Villareal. Force him to the left. Even if he gets away to the left, it's better than if he gets away to the right. From his standpoint. Now, from Lacen's standpoint, he's got to get through this round.
Oh, good right uppercut, straight right hand got in. Lacen again gets away, but he has taken a pounding in this round. He is using every inch of the ring and is running out of room.
And he's really hurt with a lot of these power punches.
He almost fell down on his own as he's trying to bounce around and collect himself.
Look how much better Villareal does when he forces Lacen even to escape to his left. It's a much more difficult thing for Lacen to do. He's forcing Lacen now to go to his left and his right. That's a big difference, believe me.
Punches getting through. Lacen in trouble again. Moves away, and as Al says, many times it's just Villareal letting him off the hook. It's a big round for Otilio Villareal and the blue trunks. Hand landed again, and it hurt Lacen. He is shaken as we come to the bell.
Here's where the standing 8 came. That was the left hook from Villareal, and it would lead to a standing 8 count. As you said, the second one he'd been hit with.
Lacen was down in the 1st, took a standing 8 in the 5th. And Villareal, I believe, has built up a pretty good lead as we go into the final round here.
2-point rounds for him, so.
Let's see the punch numbers through 5. It was all Villareal in the 5th round. And you know, it almost seemed to me, Al, as if once he got into the 5th round, he realized he could go beyond 4. Villareal opened up.
It's a very good point, and you had talked about him pacing himself. At that point, once he heard him, he had him on the ropes. He said, yeah, I've got to throw a lot of punches here. So you're right. All of a sudden, there was a change in how he reacted. This might be the last round of this bout anyway. I'll tell you, Lacen is getting into those corners and against the ropes, and once he's there, he's an easy target for Villareal.
Through 5 rounds, big lead for Otilio Villareal, and he's all over Isander Lacen.
And the body punches are as important as anything else.
Villareal has been very confident. Really slowed down the 2nd and 3rd rounds. Even a little bit in the 4th, but boy, did he really open up in the 5th. And those 2 big rounds have been the big difference in the fight.
Yeah, and those are the rounds in which Villareal was able to make Lacen stop running and get him against the ropes and get him in a position where he could land some good shots.
Otilio Villareal from Ecuador, now living in New York. He's looking for his 5th straight win. Worked the body real well on Lacen.
Yes, excellent body shots by Villareal. That's really making a big difference for him.
Certainly a step up for Villareal in the sense that he's had to go 6 rounds, which is a learning experience. He's gone against a guy who has really got on the bicycle and moved around a lot on him.
Yeah, he's shown him a lot that look that he's going to have to face. And they can learn from this if they really look at these tapes carefully. Certain things that Villareal didn't do and things he did do well. By and large, he didn't cut off the ring as well as he might.
Final seconds of the fight. And the judges will count up the points. And this one is over. Otilio Villareal looks like a winner. Good performance. Still a long way to go for the young man, just 20 years old. But looks like a pretty good prospect. For Isander Lacen, maybe his first pro loss. Tour de France, Barry Tompkins is there. That's where he's been the last couple of weeks. He's got
And Lacen only landed 2 punches in the last round, so things did not go well for this young man. And as you said, Villareal still in the learning stage, but he's doing well.
Here's Michael Buffer with the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Trump Taj Mahal, we go to the scorecards. John Stewart scores the bout 60-52. Gene Williams has it 59-54. And Tommy Kazmarek scores it 59-53 for the winner by unanimous decision, Otilio Villareal.
Michael Buffer, you can't say it better than that. Villareal is 5-0. Coming up next, Ringside Report, and then our main event. Don't go away.